When you put a woman on a pedestal, treating her as though she's the utmost prize, something shifts in her perspective. She starts thinking, I'm in control now. I don't have to try as hard. I have options. Over time, her interest will begin to fade. In this video, we're diving into how to flip that script so she sees you as the one worth pursuing, the prize she's chasing. Here's a simple truth. Anytime you act like a woman is above you, she will instinctively view you as below her. That's just human nature. So how do you shift the dynamic and position yourself as the one she's eager to win? A lot of men believe that treating a woman like royalty will earn them her affection. But here's the kicker. People want to be with someone they view as a catch. If you're treating her like the ultimate prize, she'll subconsciously decide that you aren't. She can't see both of you as the prize at the same time, and she wants the thrill of pursuing someone she believes is worth it. For many women, romance is tied to the excitement of winning someone over. If you don't give her that challenge, her interest will eventually fizzle out. So, how do you become the person she's drawn to? It starts with recognizing your own worth. Many men struggle with this, often thinking, she's more attractive, more social, or more accomplished than I am. But we've all seen that guy who doesn't have much, yet walks around like he's the catch. And women believe it too. Confidence in your value is magnetic. On the other hand, I've met plenty of men who are good-looking, successful, and funny, yet women still lose interest in them. Why? Because they make the mistake of putting women on a pedestal, believing she's the real prize. Once she picks up on that, her attraction fades. I often tell a story about a friend of mine from college, Ken. He had a saying, if you think you're the man and act like the man, others will think you're the man, and when they do, you become the man. The same logic applies when you want to be seen as the prize. When you genuinely believe that you're the prize, you'll naturally carry yourself that way. And as you move with that mindset, women will start treating you accordingly. Once they start seeing you as the prize, it reinforces the fact that you are the prize. It's a cycle. Does the belief come first or the behavior? The key is that it all begins with your unshakable conviction in your own value. Now let's break down how to project this belief in real interactions with women. You can't just declare, I'm the prize, because saying it outright will likely make her reject the idea. However, if you act like the prize, she'll come to that conclusion on her own. So, how do you carry yourself in a way that signals you're the prize? That's the next critical step. The next pivotal step is to let go of seeking her approval. Here's the thing. In any relationship, one person always ends up putting in more effort, and that person holds less influence in the dynamic. This creates something I like to call a validation vacuum. When a man and woman meet, one of them will instinctively try to win the other over, seeking approval and trying to impress. But if you're not the one chasing validation, it leaves her feeling unsettled, like something's missing. This causes her to start seeking your validation instead. It's a natural response. One person will always chase the other, and if you're not the one seeking her approval, she'll begin pursuing yours. So what does it mean to stop chasing validation? It's simple. Stop trying to impress her. Don't focus on what to say to make her like you, or highlight your accomplishments, like your promotion, the new car you drive, or your recent vacation. Many guys do this subconsciously when they want a woman's approval. Even trying too hard to be funny puts her in a position of power, with you performing for her attention. Here's the truth. Women want to be the ones doing the impressing. They aren't looking for a guy who agrees with everything they say or hands out compliments at every turn. What they crave is the challenge of winning your validation. So when you stop chasing hers, you allow her to step into that role, creating a dynamic where she's naturally more invested. A huge part of not seeking validation is showing, not telling. Instead of telling her about your wild adventures in South America to prove how exciting you are, bring her along on new experiences. Instead of explaining how you're a leader at work, demonstrate leadership in your interactions with her. Whether it's setting the tone, confidently making decisions, or taking charge of a moment. When she sees these traits in action, she'll form her own opinion of your value. And one final point, stop over-explaining yourself. If you're insecure about something, your job, your body, or anything else, don't justify it or seek her approval. Don't tell her how this job is temporary or how you've gained weight recently. When you do that, you signal that her opinion carries more weight than it should. Instead, remain grounded in your worth and she'll naturally start seeking your validation. The next move is both subtle and effective. Ask her to do you a favor. This technique taps into an unexpected psychological principle known as the Ben Franklin effect. As men, we often believe that doing favors for women will increase their attraction to us. For instance, if she mentions her car is acting up, we might jump in to help, or if her computer isn't working, we offer to fix it. We assume that by being helpful, we're becoming more appealing. But the Ben Franklin effect flips this logic. People actually like us more when they do favors for us. This works because of a psychological phenomenon called effort justification. When someone puts effort into doing something for you, their brain rationalizes that effort by thinking, I must like this person, otherwise why would I go out of my way for them? It's the same mental trick we use when we push ourselves toward challenging goals, convincing ourselves that the effort is worth it. I had a friend, Doug, who was a natural at this without even realizing it was a technique. He would meet a woman at a bar and after a few minutes of chatting, ask her to hold his drink while he turned to talk to someone else. At first it seemed rude, but I eventually understood that Doug had an unshakable belief in his own value. He thought, why wouldn't she want to hold my drink? That confidence, paired with small requests for favors, worked to his advantage. When someone does you a favor, they unconsciously become more invested in you. When applying this strategy, avoid overloading her with requests. Keep it simple and genuine. For example, if she's skilled in something like editing videos, ask her for a quick tutorial or a small favor related to that. The key is to keep the request sincere, not as a thinly veiled excuse to spend more time with her. She'll see through that. By keeping it subtle, you allow her brain to rationalize the effort she's putting in, making her more invested without realizing it. Another essential tactic is to set and communicate standards. This is crucial in positioning yourself as the prize in any relationship. Let me share an example from a few years back when I was looking for cosmetic dental work. I visited multiple dentists. Some were overly eager, offering water, answering all my questions, and following up constantly to secure my business. But the dentist I ultimately chose set firm standards from the moment I walked in. There was a sign stating that if I was more than 5 minutes late, I would need to reschedule. No exceptions. When I met him, I tried to skip his explanation and get straight to pricing since I'd already seen other dentists. He calmly refused, saying, if you don't have time to hear what I'm going to do, we can reschedule. Or perhaps I'm not the right fit. His confidence stood out. He wasn't chasing my business, and he didn't follow up with me after the appointment. Yet I chose him despite his higher prices because he clearly communicated his value and set clear boundaries. The same principle applies to dating. Setting standards is one of the most powerful ways to communicate that you're the prize. For example, let's say you've arranged a dinner date and she suggests meeting for lunch instead. Lunch is a downgrade. It's less intimate than dinner. Many men would accept the lunch option out of fear of missing the opportunity, but by doing so, they signal that they're not the prize. Instead, maintain your standard by saying something like, I'd prefer dinner. Let's reschedule for an evening when you're available. Another example is when she's being uncertain about her availability. If you invite her to an event on Friday and she responds with, I'll let you know, don't sit around waiting for her decision. Instead, take the offer off the table by saying, it sounds like this week isn't good for you. Let's plan something another time. This response shows that you value your time and won't tolerate indecisiveness. By setting and communicating your standards, you reinforce your value. Women will rise to meet those standards rather than you adjusting to theirs, creating a dynamic where you are respected and desired. A lot of men struggle with this concept of being the prize because they feel they don't have the confidence, social skills, or power to embody that role. But here's the good news. Transforming how you're perceived isn't as complicated as it seems. That's why I offer a free class called 3 Steps to Social Power, Status, and Charisma, where I break down the elements that truly elevate your status in the eyes of women. One of the key components I teach is the importance of perception. Many people think being the prize is about external factors like looks, money, or a prestigious job. While those things can help, they're only surface level. What truly matters is how you carry yourself, your attitude, and your internal sense of worth. In this class, I explain that being the prize is not about reality. It's about perception. It's how she sees you, and there are specific, actionable steps you can take to shape that perception. Looks, status, and wealth might get you attention, but it's your charisma and social power that will hold her interest. The class dives into 3 key strategies that will elevate your power and status in her eyes. These steps are designed not only to change how you see yourself, but also how others perceive you, making it easier to naturally exude the prize mentality in every social interaction. If you're ready to increase your social charisma and be seen as the prize, this class will provide the foundation and tools to make that shift happen. That's it for today's video. If you gained some valuable insights, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be masculine.